Warmoth Stratocaster build. I'm really excited to talk about it. So I built this about a year ago. I've been playing it for about 11 months. It took me about a month to get all the parts together, get it assembled, get a finish on it, and get it on stage. So I went with a Korina body and a Korina neck. The reason I did that is I've always loved Korina. When I was a kid in the 90s, Epiphone had a series of Korina guitars, and I really wanted one. I played an SG that they had, and it just really spoke to me. It felt great. It looked super cool. It was this almost unique color of amber, and it always stuck with me. So I've always wanted a Korina guitar. I also like weight. I like a nice heavy Stratocaster. One of the problems I have with Stratocasters and SGs is they can sometimes feel a little bit light. I like a nice heavy guitar. So I went ahead and I got black Korina or black Lima for the body. The black just means that it has the dark figuring running through it. This guitar has some absolutely beautiful wood on it. And then for the neck, they were no longer making Korina necks. I actually wanted a slightly different neck than what I was able to get. They were only offering ones in the showcase, which is ones that had been pre-made. I got really lucky. The neck on this is absolutely beautiful. It's white Korina, and then the fretboard is figured Zergo. The figuring on there is just fantastic. It almost looks like something you'd see in like a spider web or a watercolor, not something you typically see in a guitar grade. So I went ahead and I finished it off after I got the wood together. I used 7 coats of True Oil on the neck. I did 10 coats of True Oil on the body. True Oil is a self-leveling gunstock finish. What that means for you is when you put it on, it's going to come off even. You're not going to have a lot of big shelves unless you have drips. As long as you put it on smooth and rub it dry, it's going to leave a nice even finish. It also doesn't dry super hard. You do get a little bit of a hard finish. It's not like if you were to use poly or even like a nitrocellulose because you're not buffing it to a high gloss. If you did it the way I did, you can add more layers and buff down. I chose not to. I wanted a more natural looking guitar. I love the way it feels. It's almost like a baseball bat on the back of the neck. On the body itself feels really nice as well. It just feels good against my bare arm. I'm a big fan of the guitar. I went ahead and I also bought a Warmoth bridge. I was having a hard time finding a stainless steel hardtail Strat bridge that was the correct string spacing. I got it from Warmoth. It was about 50 bucks. The rest of the guitar came together pretty easily. I have 3 DiMarzio pickups in this. I'm a big fan of DiMarzio pickups. I think they do great things. I have an FS1 in the neck. I have a True Velvet in the middle. That's what I was playing in the beginning, was those two together. I also have a Tone Zone in the bridge here. Now this is a Tone Zone Telecaster pickup. Because this is technically a parts caster, I felt pretty comfortable kind of shoehorning that one in there. I actually had to sand the back of the plate and the cavity a little bit just to get that to fit right. So I could get it to go up and down when I adjust the adjustment screws. So the only real differences I have between this and your normal Strat is I have a single tone knob, a single volume knob. I replaced this knob with a kill switch. I found that I kept turning it down when I was playing rhythm guitar. Live on stage, not so much at home, but on stage I kept turning myself down. And then I have this little single pull double throw switch I use to split the tone zone as well. I think that adds a lot of versatility to it. The tone zone is a pretty hot pickup. You get some really great, really crunchy tones. It doesn't sound as good if you're playing, quickly strummed bar chords, not distorted. I find that with that split in there, I get some more usable tones, a little bit more Strat-like. Overall, super happy with the products I purchased from Warmoth. I would recommend them to anyone. If you're on the fence about actually building your own guitar, doing the finish yourself, especially if it's something as easy as True Oil, I recommend giving it a go. Worst case scenario, you have to sand it back down. I had never done anything like this. I had refinished a table and a dresser before. This was easier than both of those. It came pre-sanded, was real nice from Warmoth. All it took was time. It took me about, I want to say 3 weeks to get the finish on, because you let it cure for a little bit, and I was doing it in March in the Northwest, so it wasn't quite warm enough, so I let it cure a little longer between coats. And once I had it all together, it was a breeze. I did have an issue with my truss rod, so I did not get my truss rod up at the top where I should have. Like I said, it was a showcase neck, so I didn't choose that part of the guitar. I wasn't really looking at it, I wasn't thinking about it. What this one came with is it came with the micro adjustment, and it came with the heel adjustment. I've only ever had to adjust the truss rod at the heel once. One time I did have to take off the strings, take off the neck, adjust the truss rod, and put it back together. The rest of the times I've been able to use the micro adjustment. That's kind of on me. I changed string gauges. I went from 10s to 12s, and I had to adjust my truss rod. So overall, I think it has been an awesome guitar. Some of the other things I paired it with is I also used a Tusk nut and string tee from Graph Trek. Those are also both wonderful. It was one of those things where I'd never done it before. I had to sand the nut down myself. It did come pre-cut, but I did have to make some adjustments to get it to fit, have it sit right as well. You'd also put a shim under there to get a little bit more height on it. I sanded it down a little bit too far. Overall, like I said, I cannot endorse Warmoth enough. I hope if you're watching this and you're considering buying a body and neck and putting them together, or just re-necking your guitar, which I said, the biggest recommendation I can give is after playing this Warmoth guitar neck, I went out and I bought a second Warmoth guitar neck because I didn't like the way my Fender felt compared to Warmoth. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in a comment below.